All right, guys. You're back with us here at Beamer & Son Garage, and we appreciate you coming back, and we appreciate all our subscribers and our viewers, and we really do. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we appreciate all the great comments that we've been getting. But today, it's the Mr. Obvious show, and you guys know what that means. Nightmare Man, on my little short clip video I had showing a couple little cars, says, these hoarders just can't be made to understand that just because they aren't saving these anymore, they're destroying them. These hoarders just can't be made to understand that they aren't saving anything. They're destroying it. Sell it. Get it in the hands of someone who will fix it. Don't let them sit and rot and be destroyed. Oh my God. This guy, Nightmare Man1, he's got a YouTube channel with 55 subs, 256 videos, 14 years on YouTube. August 16, 2009 was the year that he made his channel. He's got 25,399 views. Well, let me tell you something, Nightmare Man. You don't know everything. You think you know some and you don't know shit. Majority of these cars, we saved them. They were in the junkyard. They were going to be crushed. They were going to be parted out. Let's see here. Let's go out here and start with let's start with this one right here. 1968 Buick Skylark was in a tow yard, and that guy was going to scrap it. So my son paid him the $800 he wanted for it, saved it from being scrapped, and he drove the wheels off this thing, and the engine finally let go, and I put another engine in. And so I saved another car. And right now it's got to have a dent in the oil pan. That the engine we bought had a dent in the oil pan. Got to pull the dent out, put a brake line on. I just put tires on it, and my boy's going to start driving this car. Okay, here's another one over here. 1972 Mustang that was being parted out. The engine was missing. Both fenders were missing. Transmission was gone. It was hit in the left front and hit on the rear. I straightened it out as best I could. And it needs to be more. It needs a quarter panel. And this car was going to the scrapyard. It was already gutted, stripped out. The drivetrain was already robbed out of it. It was going to the junkyard. And we saved it. Okay? Here, let's go over here. The same guy I got that car from, the 72 Mustang, he had this 68 Skylark. And it was already being parted out. The rear end was missing. It was it was on its way to the junkyard. They already did. They robbed the rear end out, sold the rear end, and I bought it with no title, no rear end. Had it towed home. I put a rear end in it. I got a title for it, and this car is back on the road. So, in your face, Nightmare Man 1. So we looked his channel up just for the hell of it. We looked his channel up to see what he was about, and he's a joke. His channel's a joke. He's a joke. And so we just left him a comment telling him what our plans are with his comment, and he's not going to like it, I'm sure. Okay, here's this guy's channel. Nightmare Man 1, everybody. Check his channel out. He's got just 55 subs, 256 videos. He's a joke. Here, let's look at his videos. Here he is. Anybody know what kind of Bentley steak this is?
Somebody came through the drive-thru. I looked at the
Oh,
ID
yeah,
and
that's got commercials, guys.
You knew
I got them
I did. I
too.
said, oh my gosh, hi, Mindy. And this person just drove away. I had a hold put on the account. She kind of saved the day. She's my little guardian angel.
Says to skip it. Here it is.
Alright, dudes, I just moved this pallet of pavers And I think I got like a freaking copperhead on my truck.
Not too bad it didn't bite you.
He's got a seriously triangular
You guys
head.
can see that. So he's got a venomous snake right there on his trailer, on his tractor trailer. And he's such an idiot, he don't even know what that is. That's a copperhead, dude. Too bad it didn't bite him. So anyways, this guy here calls us a hoarder and says that we're not saving anything, we're destroying it. Okay, well, you know, dude, that's your opinion, okay? And you're entitled to it, okay? But keep it to yourself next time, you know? You're a YouTuber just like me, and when you leave a nasty comment, duh, it's gonna get to me. And then you left your fingerprint of who you are. I know who you are. You're a dumbass, you're a jackass, you're a fucking idiot. Anybody know what kind of venomous snake this is? You ever thought about going to YouTube and looking it up? Jackass. So guys, go to his channel. Let him know what you think about him. man1. You should call yourself Nightmare on Elm Street because you're a nightmare. Your channel's just ridiculous. You're an asshole. You're a dumbass. And now you're on the Mr. Obvious show. Yeah. So you might get some subscriptions. Guys, don't subscribe to him. Leave comments on his channel. Let him know how you feel about him. With his nasty comment he left on my channel. A hoarder just can't be made to understand. They aren't saving anything. They're destroying it. You're a fucking dumbass, dude. I took this car right out of the grips of you know, hell. This car was going to go to the scrapyard. The rear end was gone. It had no title. This car was destined to be junked. I saved it. I bought it. I put a rear end in it. I got a title for it. And this car runs and drives. Dumbass. And here we go. Got another one down here. Okay, here's a 1964 Dodge 880. My son bought it out of a junkyard. When I first saw it, I was like, we don't need that car. And my boy was just persistent. My son was, no, Dad, I want this car. And we bought it for $680. And we looked online, and these pieces right here, these little fender emblems here, there's two of them. They're $600, $300 a piece. You know, this car is a trove of parts. It's worth a fortune in the parts. A two-door, most are four-doors out there. They made cop cars out of these in '64. A lot of them are cop cars, and a lot of them are four-doors. But the two-doors are the cool ones. According to Richard Rollins, the two-door is a cool car, and four-doors, two doors too many. But we like the four-doors around here. But according to him, two-doors are cool, and the four-doors aren't. But that's his opinion too. But anyways, we bought this out of a junkyard and saved it from being scrapped. Or actually, it would have been parted out first, and then it would have been scrapped. So, you know, we save cars here, guys. You guys all know this. We buy them, we get them cheap, we fix them up, we play with them, we buy another one. There's 86 cars and trucks here. This guy looks at a little 1-minute clip and thinks he knows all there is to know about Beamer & Son Garage. And he don't know shit. man1. You're a dumbass. So there we go again. Another Mr. Know-It-All, thinks he knows it all and then some, don't know shit. man1. Yeah, you should have called yourself Nightmare on Elm Street, dude, because you're just a complete ass. You know, he's dumbass, you know. This car was owned by, I think he was on crack or meth or something. He was a drug head. And this car was going to probably end up at a junkyard, and that's where it was going to go. But I ended up trading him out of it, and the car that he got from me that I traded, that car did end up at a towing yard, a junkyard. And the guy that owned the junkyard sent me a letter in the mail telling me I owe him $3,000 for towing for a car I didn't own anymore because I traded the guy that Challenger, 72 Challenger for that car. So that Challenger wasn't mine, but it was still in my name. The guy didn't, and I didn't do it. I knew better. I should have known better. I should have made sure I put it in his name before I ever let the title and car go, and I didn't. I just signed the back of it, gave him the title, figuring he'd do it. Well, he didn't. I did it. I put this thing in my name. And it's a real Roadrunner. And this thing here would have ended up at Lindale Junkyard too, if it wasn't for me. Actually, it wasn't Lindale. It was Nicholsville Junkyard. Yeah. And I got stories like this car was bought in a junkyard. I bought that car in a junkyard. I saved it too. I mean, the stories that I have that are true will just go on and on and on forever, guys. If I do every car that, we've done some, explaining where these cars came from, the last couple of videos, where they were bought, how we got them, how much we paid for them. That one there, I traded a dirt bike. It was going to the junkyard too, the 72 Mach 1. And we saved it. All right, guys, so I'm done with my rant video today. Mr. Obvious made his point again, that some people think they know it all and they don't know nothing. And hoarder, you know what, dude? I've been called hoarder by my brother, by strangers, Just eat shit and die, okay? You don't want to be, you're never going to be anything with an attitude like that in life. You're never going to get anywhere, And I had some really good comments from some other viewers. And one guy said something on the Mach 1, the 69 Mach 1. He's like, man, I want that car. It's got a Cleveland in it, 4-speed. Well, no. The 69 Mustang, the 69 model year, didn't have a 351 Cleveland. They didn't come out till 1970. And I know all this because the great Bob Martin was a big Ford freak, and he taught me a lot of things. And that's one thing I learned early on when I was 16 years old. That a 69 Mustang Mach 1, just a Mustang or Mach 1 didn't come out with a Cleveland. It wasn't until 1970 that they came out, the Cannon arranged valve 351 Cleveland. This car has a Windsor in it, 351 Windsor. And he saw 351 and mistaken the valve cover for a Cleveland, and there's no mistake, I'll tell you. That Cleveland's a monster. It got big ports and big exhaust ports, like a big block Chevy. Actually, they're bigger on the Cleveland than they are on the big block Chevy. And the intake ports are huge. Valve covers are huge. A lot of people think it's a big block. No, it's not. A 351 Cleveland is a small block. How do I know? I'm a Ford guy. That's how I know. I know a lot about Fords. I've been around all kinds of people that taught me everything they know, and I'm like a sponge. I soaked it up, And of course, after that wreck, I've, lost a lot of my memory. But it's coming back. Slowly but surely, it's coming back. Hey, what's up, Sam? What's up, girl? But anyways, he sent me a message. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a Cleveland, the valve cover. No. It's cool, dude. You just mistakenly identified a Windsor for a Cleveland, and I'm okay with that. And he was like, man, I want one. You can still find them. They're barn finds. You're finding, they're finding them all the time, hidden in barns and hidden away somewhere. And you can still get these cars, and you can still get them reasonable. We did a video recently where we went on eBay, and the cheapest 69 Mach 1 was $69,000. The cheapest. Of course, it was done. It was painted, interior. It looked immaculate. But that's $70,000. Oh, God. I paid $800 for this car. Why would I want to go out and spend $70,000, plus tax for a car that I already got? I'm not going to do it, of course. I already got that car. But you guys out there can still find them, and you don't have to spend 70 grand, okay? You're just going to have to do a little searching. You're going to have to dig a little harder than even what we did back in the day. This car was found on a magazine publication called The Trading Post. And they had, the guy had this car, and he advertised it on Trading Post for $800. And it was real close to where I lived at, out in Eastgate, Ohio. It's out in Claremont County. And I went right over to the guy's house, and I found the car, and I talked to him, and he says, well, I got other people coming. I said, well, yeah, but I'm here before them. I said, what do you want for it? He said, $800. I said, I'll take it. Well, another guy showed up right time I was there, and he walked over to him and said, look, I was a young man. I was probably 20, 21, 22 years old. I was in the early 20s, and the guy says, look, I'll give you $500 more than what that kid offers you. And so he came back to me and told me, he says, hey, he's going to give me 500 over top of whatever you offer. I said, really? I said, I can't win, man. There's no way I can win. I said, if I go 1,000, he's going to go 15. If I go 15, he's going to go 2,000. I can't win. I said, look, sir. I said, I'm a local boy. I live around here local. I said, you sell me the car and you'll see it again. And I'll bring it over and I'll even let you drive it. So he sold it to me. And that guy had to, pack his shit and leave. And I told him, I said, that guy's not from around here. You'll never see your car again. You sell to me, you'll see your car again, sir. I'll fix it up. I'll work on it. I'll bring it over. I'll take you out in it. I'll let you test drive it. I'll let you drive it. And what the situation was with this car was, it was an older man. He was, getting up in the age. Him and his wife, she was wanting him to get rid of it and pushed it out of the garage. It was sitting on the side of their property, on the side of the garage, in the grass. And he didn't want to sell it. He did not want to sell it, but his wife made him sell it. And so that's, there's another thing I always say, get rid of her. I would get rid of her before I'd get rid of my car, But okay, he did what he had to do. He sold the car. He used to be a fireman. He was I think he was either volunteer fireman for the North Union Fire Department out there. And he used to take this vehicle back and forth to the fire station. So he used this to go on fire runs. When he sold it, that was, part of his, his life, was gone. Anyways, we brought it home. We put a water pump on it. We put a master cylinder on it. Me and my great friend Steve Sizemore came over and helped because I never put a water pump on a Ford at that point in my life. And he came over and, yeah, we got this thing going. And I took it over to the dude's house. I took it back to the guy where I bought it at, just like I told him I would. And I pulled up in his driveway and I said, hey, here's your car. Are you ready to go for a ride, or you want to take it out and, take it for a test drive? I promised you. I told you. He said, nah. He said, nah, I don't want to drive it. I said, no, I told you could drive it. He said, nah. He said, just seeing you come up in the driveway with it running and driving, he says, does my heart good. He says, I'm sure I'll see you again. And he did. And he said, I'm sure I'll see the car again. And he did. And so I lived up to my word. And that's all you have in this world, is your word. If you don't have your word, then you ain't got nothing. And here, my word is gold. We tell it like it is. We say it like it is. We show it like it is. And if you don't like it, go to Uncle Tony's. Uncle Tony's garage. We had somebody else called Mr. Obvious loudmouth. Yeah, that's what Mr. Obvious does. This is a rant video. You dumbass. Yeah, I'm a loudmouth. I'm Mr. Obvious, dumbass. All right, guys. So Mr. Obvious is I'm trying to contain him today. He's not using any foul language, but he's at least expressing his feelings about this nightmare man. One, eat shit, dude. Eat shit and die. See you in the next one, guys. Check out my friends, Actions Auto Parts, Jamie Phillips. Jamie Phillips is Actions Auto Parts, and my buddy Scott Speed Shop. And we'll see you on the next Beamer and Son Garage. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. My boy right there. Love that dog.